I wrote this poem during a writing session at Felicity House, and it was a therapeutical and it's also a therapeutical skill for people with autism who cope with different stressful situations, and is a way to relieve their stress. In this case, this week is the anniversary of 9/11, and people with autism usually have a hard time and have difficulties dealing and coping with these tragic events, as people with autism sometimes have trouble empathizing and sympathizing to people who has suffered through the tragedy that affected their lives. In that case, one of the coping mechanisms that people with autism can do is they can write a poem about 9/11, how they express their emotions and their feelings about this tragic event. In that case, there was some positive stuff that happened on the same day as 9/11, and it's basically about I met a friend who's actually a childhood friend of mine who also has autism like me, and this poem is dedicated to a friend of mine who I didn't regret meeting since the very first day. Here we go. On the first day of school, it was 9/11. Plane come and crashed to the most important building, the World Trade Center. People screaming and running in horror as they have nowhere to go. People dying and hurt until the building collapsed. Not until I met a bright kid who's like me. His name is Timmy, and he and I have been friends for 17 years. Every time we hang out, we see a land of trains. We put the tragedy aside and enjoy this bright moment. It's like a light at the end of the tunnel, but also ironic. I will never forget 9/11, both good and bad. Even though we all remember the tragedy, I will never forget the day I met a friend who turned this tragedy into a hopeful day, hoping for a better future. For a special friend who's reading this, thank you for making this day a brighter day. So I hope you enjoyed this poem that I wrote. It's one of my coping mechanisms. And if you like this, if you want to check out more videos, make sure you click the subscribe button, and we'll talk to you more about autism and how people with autism adapt the world in their own way. So thanks for listening.